There we go. Now we have sound. We are having technical difficulties. My keyboard's dead and the mouse is acting weird. Like when I click on it's crazy. There's like a gremlin in here right now. If you can hear me and you can see me, let me know in that chat bar. How's everybody doing tonight? I have some fun stuff planned. Yes, William, Eyes of Octavia. What's up, Lorcan? How are you, William? Come on in, everybody. Let's have some fun. First of all, I'm going to click around here. I want to show you. Let's see if I can get... Oh, there it is. See? That works. That works. See? That one's not working. All right. There, dude, it's crazy. When I click on stuff, nothing happens. I've never seen that before. Yeah, here we are. I had we did a live broadcast on Friday night. That's where I did my Behind the Devil's Curtain episode. That was the first one. It was very successful. What's up, Eric? I also, I got like, I'm not kidding. I got like 300 subscribers in like 2.5 weeks. About, like just a little shy of 300. So my goal was to hit 500 by Friday, and I'm at 450 right now. That's crazy. So, and then my goal is to hit 1,000 by December-ish, somewhere in there. And I think it's going to happen. I've been going up faster and faster just because the algorithms are getting triggered. And I have to thank everybody out there who is sharing the page and subscribing. So if you're in there and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe, hit the notification. It actually does wonders. The other thing that does wonders are all the people that donated money, and I can't click on it because it's busted. There it is. Look at this. All right, this is just the other day. Like, these guys here, these are the guys that are, you know, they're actually donating some things. And it's all going back to the show. It goes right here. I got lights and a computer, and guess what? Because of the donations on Friday, if you're in here, and you were one of the ones that donated, I thank you, because I just got one of those Blue Yeti microphones. It's coming. I think it comes tomorrow. I thought it was going to come today. Any rate, 1 second. Let me get my booze. And I don't know if you know this, but I don't drink. I prefer, here we go, non-alcoholic beer. And this is Beck's non-alcoholic beer, and it's the right temperature. I don't like it too cold. Perfect. Yeah. So, oh, thank you, William. Yeah, all you guys sharing this stuff, it does wonders. It really does. It's like a miracle. Yeah, Blue Yeti mics. I looked them up, man. They're, for what they cost, it's kind of out of control of the quality. So I have one coming. My show keeps getting upgraded as we do these and the donations come in. I remember on the first one, the magic one I did. Oh, we'll get to the magic stuff in a second. But that one alone, like, I got a ton of donations and a bunch of subscribers. So it's like a steamroller with these things. Reverend Campbell keeps helping me out. Thank you. He's an expert at this stuff. And here I am. I'm a live performer. I am not a tech guy. I don't... this is new for me, this tech stuff. I know how to walk out and make a show with nothing. So, I'm learning. Thank you. Let me get my notes. Oh, I'm gonna yawn. Ooh, ooh. Sorry about that. I'm actually not sleepy. It's a little hot in here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn my fake fireplace off and leave just the light on. How's that? These are great. Oh, if you're wondering why I have a fake fireplace, it's because this house that I'm in is it's about 120 years old. And it's got the radiator heating. And the house is so big and spread out. There's 3 stories to this house. It's massive. When you turn the heat on, it takes forever for it to get to where it needs to go. But then it's too damn hot. So, uh, and yeah, it just gets roasting in here quick. So I'm trying to wait to turn the actual heater on. Let's see here. Yeah. That show on Friday night was fun. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. Um, it was, for me, very hard. The tarot part's easy. The hard part is explaining the philosophy in a manner that's easy to understand and digest. I assume, and this is something I've learned recently, if you go to my Instagram, Cardone Magic, I just made a little post on my stories about how it physically hurts people to learn new things sometimes, or to accept new ideas. Because once you get locked into certain ideologies, if somebody presents new things to you, it literally physically hurts. It does something. It causes a chemical reaction. So when I'm explaining things that are brand new concepts to people, especially with magic stuff and how it ties into history and reality and religion and psychology, when I explain how it all comes together, some people have some cognitive dissonance and they're like, ugh, it hurts them because they've accepted certain things are real. Therefore, the first part of that lecture is the hard part for me, is to communicate the idea. So hopefully I got that across. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, go check out Behind the Devil's Curtain episode 1. As for me mentioning the list, people that are donating $25 or more are getting put on a list. And as we move on here throughout these episodes, you'll see what the list is going to be for. It's going to be basically to unlock certain videos. Because some of my videos, like my magic lectures, will eventually get a lock put on them. There's too much info in those things. Golden info. And that's fine. I want people to see it live and experience it. But for it to just sit there, there's no need. I actually would rather do another live one and do different tricks. Another level 1 live. Christopher, what's up, brother? Yeah, I mean, I like doing them live. It's way more fun for me, and I'm like, it's like jazz. Sometimes new things pop up. But a couple people messaged me about if I'm going to do Magic Method Level 2, and the answer is yes. And it's going to be in November. I'm not sure, mid-November or near the end. That's definitely going to be happening. Brother Nick, Ashworth, everybody, come on in. Let's have a party. It's Sunday night. I like Sunday nights. I actually like Mondays, too. A lot of people don't like Mondays. Mondays, I wake up and I get the week ready. And it's just like, it's my zen morning of this giant week ahead, and then I kind of map it out, and yeah, I like Sunday nights too. Actually, you know what? It's all good. Every night's good. It's a reason to like every night. So yeah, I'm doing these things, and the magic one is definitely going to be in there. So my main focus for all of these, Behind the Devil's Curtain is that's my new child. That's the one I really want to work on, and I have so many crazy ideas. I wish I could just tell you right now. Some of them are off the charts. If you want to know sort of the direction of some of my field trips and things, I'm going to give you a little something to look up now. Look up on YouTube. One of my music projects I'm in is called Opulence. Look up the word opulence and then the word curse and watch the video. I won't say what it is. Watch the video. I think you'll get a kick out of it. But yeah, I have field trips planned. I have guests. I have celebrity guests. I have so many things I'm going to bring in here. You guys are going to love it, and I think you're going to get a lot out of it. And I think you're going to, pick up on some cool little ideas and new things. Like I said, if anybody has any suggestions or ideas or field trips or subject matter they want me to cover, let me know. This is interactive. That's why I'm doing this. I can't imagine doing live TV without that type of connection. Like, people can text, they can, there is an interactive nature to these things that I do like. And, yeah. Yeah, thank you, guys. So I got the Magic one. Magic Level 2, I'm going to focus on a little harder. Just a little bit. I taught in the first one how to do the one card vanish thing. That's tricky. We're gonna go up one more for that one. I think we're gonna do a little bit more difficult sleight of hand, and I'm gonna layer some more psychology stuff on it. That's the thing with Magic people don't get. There's so much nuance and subtlety that if you don't work on it and practice it and put the flight time into mastering it, the audience picks up on it. That's why most Magic is bad, because most people can kind of guess what's going on. They're just polite and don't say anything. Your family and friends will tell you. Strangers sometimes are polite. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're very polite. They might have seen The Secret and they kind of go along with it. So, we got the Magic ones coming in November. Halloween, the night before Halloween, the Devil's Night, October 30th, the night we used to wreak havoc when we were in high school. I'm sure some of you have done that. Some of you watching still may do that. We used to toilet paper, throw eggs. We were terrible. Soap, write things on windows with soap. One of my friends' mom actually bought us the eggs because the stores wouldn't sell them to teenagers. We would toilet papering was an art form. We would do that. And so I figured Devil's Night, October 30th, I'm not working. Halloween, I'm always working. I'm always got it. I always have a magic show. Always. Sometimes two. This time I have one, and it's going to be nuts. If you're watching this and you live in New York City or even close to New York City, there's going to be a party at Rockaway Beach at the world famous and legendary Wits End. It's called Wits End Halloween Extravaganza. Follow my Instagram, you'll see all the posts. That's my Halloween night. The night before, though, right here, I'm going to throw a little cocktail party. There'll be a tiny little live studio audience, and I am going to do episode 2 of Behind the Devil's Curtain. It's called The Transylvania Adventure. And I am not kidding. I have a story to tell, things to show, and I am going to be doing a portion of my spook show, which is the Dime Museum. And if you see my spook show, it's my intermission sequence. I'm going to do it live right here. And I think you're going to get a kick out of it. You're going to love it. And I get to tell my story about... Oh, look at this. I'm going to read this in a second. I get to tell my Transylvania story. In 2001, I went, and I have a crazy story to tell. William says, they named Devil's Night October 30th to Angel's Night here in Detroit. That's no fun. Isn't that Christmas Eve? Angel's Night? We already have that. Let's have Devil's Night. I mean, it's funny that Halloween in New York City, kids don't get off of school. It's one of the biggest secular holidays ever. Adults celebrate it. Kids celebrate it. It is a religious holiday for some. No, they don't have off school. They have off school for lots of other holidays. But yeah, I always thought that was weird. I mean, Halloween is, I think, right behind Christmas in retail at this point. For holiday sales, it's a big business. I at one point in my life, I worked in a Halloween store in the magic department, and I saw the amount of money that was made during Halloween selling just costumes. One of the reasons was the markup's crazy. Something that costs $1, they sell for $5 in the Halloween business. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I always thought people should have off school for that. Um, Also, another thing coming up soon. So this week I'm going to do another news hour. Well, it's tricky now, and I'll explain why. Beck's no alcohol beer. Out of the no alcohols, it's one of the better ones. It's not as sweet as some of the other ones. So, uh, if anybody knows about the business of doing webcamming and doing YouTube as a live show, it's not easy. But here's the crazy part. It's not just like you just do it once a week or whatever. It literally becomes a day job. And it's a lot of work. And the more you do it, the more your numbers go up. So most people do daily. That's why you'll see some of these guys do long shows. Because the more you stay on, you generate an audience. So there's a style to this. There's a, people like to drag it out because you get a bigger audience and more, right? Hey, from Seattle, Keith, what's up, brother? How are you? Yeah, so it becomes all consuming. And that's one of the reasons why I never did this before, is I kind of knew of how consuming this was going to be. So when I first started YouTube, well, first of all, I would do Facebook maybe once a week. And I would daily post Instagram, Facebook, not really Twitter, but I had my Facebook sending things to Twitter, right? And you guys get to learn some of this process because I'm learning too, and it's blowing my mind. I would daily post, and it's, it's for fun, but it's also for my business. I hustle shows, I advertise things I'm doing, I mix a little bit of my lifestyle in, and that's what I do. And it's a lot. It's all day. It's, I'm posting and moving things, and right? Well, when I started doing this, or before I started doing this, I kind of realized that it was going to, take over and be really, a lot. And I was right. It's a lot of work, man. I have to, advertise on all the other platforms, each episode. It's just, there's a lot going on. And then the technical part, which, again, look, I'm gonna click on this. Let's see if it works. Nope. Does not work. There it is. So, my mouse broke today. Yeah, and now it's not working. Live cam. Hi, there we go. Every time I click it, the third click it goes. It's weird. So I don't know how many episodes I do. I basically, right now, I'm going to do a Friday, a Sunday, and a Wednesday. And coming up, I'm going to do another Boardgasm, which is my board game nerd show, where I nerd out on different things. I did one last week, and I got a great turnout and a good response. Coming up on either Wednesday or Friday, I'm not sure when, I'm going to do an actual game review. I showed it last time. I'll show it now. Folks, come on. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Okay, now, this is hard to hold up. Look how big this game is, folks. Crazy. Rambo, the board game. Well, I painted up some of the miniatures. I hate playing without painted miniatures. And I've played 3 games, and I'll give you the review. And I also have another game. I have a few games to actually give my honest review on, and I'll tell you if I think you should buy it or not, if you like games. I also review games for non-gamers. A lot of people like the game nerd thing, but it seems kind of oof, that's a lot. It's like another lifestyle or whatever. And it doesn't have to be. That's why I like telling people about some of these games. Some of them are very accessible to families and people with kids and stuff that you can play with your kids. So check it out. Coming up, Boardgasm. Maybe Wednesday, maybe Friday. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. So let's have some fun, man. Let's chat. Anybody has questions, let me know. If you have something you want me to chat about, fire away. I wanted to show you, and I'm now going to try to click my hand cam, but I don't know if it's going to work. A lot of my stuff's not functioning right now. There it is. So let's look at this book, Mail Order Mysteries. When I saw this, that it was a book that you could buy, real stuff from old comic book ads, I was like, oh my, this is the coolest thing ever. All right, come on. Oh no, it's not working. There we go. It's crazy. Sorry, folks. So I saw this book, and I thought that basically sums up my life. As a child, I had the Johnson Smith catalog, and I would order things COD. You guys remember COD, cash on delivery, where the mailman showed up and you just handed him cash? It's so weird. I would order things out of my Johnson Smith catalog, and I have my original ones here. I don't know where it went. And, you know, you would wait months to get this stuff. And you never knew what it was. You'd see the ad, and you would dream about it. And you would have fantasies of how you were going to use the magic trick or the prank or the book of forbidden fortune-telling knowledge or whatever it was. You would think about how you were going to use it to take over the world. And then you would get it, and it was usually really bad. I never thought of this stuff as bad. Even when it was junk. It was, I don't know, I respected it as they sold it in the comic book, and I kind of fell for the ad, and right, I respected what had happened, and it actually gave the item have a new meaning, and I'll show you in a second what I'm talking about. All right, here, I'm going to open the book up, and hold on, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to, hold on, no, there we go. Sorry, folks, my mouse and keyboard do not work today at all. So the ads, this book is crazy because it basically shows you the ad first. Let me get a good one here. And then it shows you what you actually got in the mail. For instance, and I'm going to show you one that I have right here, and I have it. Here's the ad. This was a full-page ad in the comic book. Full page! And it was like, wow. And I forget here. What's the price of this? It's, hold on. I'm turning the book. I'm sorry. Oh, this one doesn't have the, oh yeah, $1.25. Okay. There it is. $1.25 for a Foot Locker of 100 toy soldiers. And I'm going to show it to you right now. Here it is. This is what you got in the mail. This is it. Not only did you get it in the mail, it had your address. There's my name and old address. Okay? It was like on the box. And, you know, I waited like 6 months to get this in the mail. It was $1.25. And that ad was everywhere. And not only was it everywhere, there were different ones. There was 100 Roman soldiers, 100 Confederate soldiers, 100 Vikings. You know, there were all these kits. Now, let me show you what you got. And that's what this book does. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, what a great idea. And there's a lot in here. All right, let's do the hand cam. If I can get it to work. Nope. And there we go. So, I'm going to open this up. So it came in, that's the bag it came in. It's a plastic bag. And I remember it's hard to get them back in. And now, I like the fact that the box is a little Foot Locker, and they made it, look, I actually wrote my name. And here's the shocker when you get these things. Well, there are 100 toy soldiers in here. There are airplanes and trucks. But here's the problem. Oh, God, it's so hard to see. Look how thin they are. They're thinner than a potato chip. My God. All right, let's get some of the soldiers out. Here's a battleship. They're flat, folks. All right, here we go. Here's Soldier Bob. Look at this guy. Now watch. Let's turn him sideways. It's practically invisible, folks. So, as a child, I guess I still liked them. I liked them because of the comic book ad, the fact that I waited for them. I knew to take care of them. I knew that they were so junky, people were going to throw them in the garbage. And I was like, I'm not. I'm going to preserve these. Here's some story that you'll like. Oh, yeah, the bomber's cool, too. Oh, wow. Look, some of these guys said... All right, I'm going to read some of these comments now. Well, first of all, people are talking about playing Hero Quest. Hero Quest is cool. Silly Putty, they did sell that. Oh, yeah, the bomber. Keith said his mom hated them. I used to melt them on light bulbs. All these things? Yeah, dude, they're junk. P.T. Barnum. People think that he said there's a sucker born every minute. That's not true. He never said that. He actually liked his customers, which is why he was successful. He thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to scam them into the sideshow exhibit, but I'm going to do it with such flash and flair that when they come out, they're going to be happy. They're going to be like, wow, I got scammed and I liked it, right? And to me, that's what this business was. Now, one of the first things I ordered from Johnson Smith catalog directly was a magic trick called Miracle Ball, which, if you're a magician, a lot of people don't know this, but it's now referred to as a zombie ball. It's a routine where there's a floating ball behind a little cloth. Well, Joe Carson's the originator, and the original version was the Miracle Ball, which was styrofoam in a cup. And I ordered the kit on how to do it from Johnson Smith. $3-4. And then the second thing I ordered from Johnson Smith from the magic department was, oh God, C.G. Murphy. Someone's talking about Murphy's. God, I miss that place. I remember when the last Murphy's went out of business in New York City in 1996. I'm going to put hand cam on. So hand cam here, that's the second thing I bought from the Johnson Smith catalog. It's called the Amateur Magician's Handbook, and by God, it's not for amateurs. It is the hard stuff. It's got little look at this. It's got photographic pictures, not hand-drawn, and it teaches hardcore sleight of hand technique like you can't believe. Lots. Like the hard stuff. So as a little kid, this was a little bit above me, which was cool, because I knew I had a lot of work to do. And I think this was like $2 or $3. Yeah, it was $3. So worth its weight in gold for me. I mean, where's my camera? There we go. Yeah, I mean, this changed my life, these things. So, you know, we would order stuff, and so in this book, Mail Order Mysteries, there's a few items in here that I never did get to have, and I wanted to show you. Hypnotic coin. One of the items in here I have in this room right now, and I've never met anybody else that has these. I'm going to put this up again. Now, this blows my mind. Because when I saw this ad as a child, I still remember the day I saw it. I was in my Nana's living room reading a comic book, and I was like, am I seeing things? Look at this. Again, let's get this to work. There we go. Here's the ad. Hold on. Sorry, folks. Ventriloquist dummy, $2.95. And there's a clown and a little boy. Well, guess what, folks? I ordered them one at a time. I ordered one, and I liked it so much that I bought it. Wait, hold on. Let me get this camera back up. I ordered one, loved it, and ordered another one. And they are always right there. My two little buddies right here. Now, they're in bad shape, meaning they're not like... The string doesn't work anymore for the mouth to open. I could repair it, but I just leave them be. They came. They're made of... I'm going to take one. You have to see one of these guys up close. Oh, see, his foot just fell off. It's because the elastic around his pant legs is no longer strong. So let's do this. So look at this little buddy. Look at him. Now, oh, there goes his shoe. Sorry, buddy. It's okay. So they came. It's cardboard in the middle, and you stuff their legs with some tissues, and they have a little head post in the back, and I wish his mouth moved. He can just do that. You feel good? You happy? Yeah. $2.95. Couldn't believe it. A lot of people think these are junk. I think they're great. And the little clown guy's his buddy. I've had him for years. When I saw that they were in the book, I was like, all right, this is cool. This guy has good taste in weird stuff. The head. Yeah, these are great. Now, I have large-scale ventriloquist dummies, and guess what? When I do my magic methods, one of those is going to be on ventriloquism. And I'm going to teach it live. Let's put, oh, his shoe fell. There he is. So that's one of my favorite things that I own. I'm not kidding. They're two of my favorite little items that I own out of all the junk I own. Hercules wristbands, karate lessons. I mean, dude, a lot of stuff. Now, here we go. The war zone. It's divided into categories. There's like, magic tricks, war. 100 little dolls. God, I would love to have that. I'm going to try to locate one of those. That's probably really hard to find. Wow. So it's probably like the box. Oh, 100 pirates. God, I would love to collect these. They're impossible to find. Oh, mini guns that actually have little bullets. Frightening. Look at that. Little tiny keychain gun that has little bullets. So wild. The House of Horrors. The monster posters. Some of these monster posters, they came in 2 parts. You had to stick them together. Very valuable. And one of the ones that's very valuable is this one here. If you've got the moon monster. Super duper 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 valuable. Okay. So there's some stuff in here I don't want to talk about because when I do my Halloween episode, I have entire segments about them. And one of them is this ad. It was a 2-page... When I was a kid, it was a 2-page ad. Okay? It was like a really big one. And, genuine soil from Dracula's castle. Wait till you see October 30th, my episode. You're going to get a kick out of it. Horror records. I have some of these. I used to order those. Now, here's the one I never actually ordered because I kind of knew it was going to be a scam. It's a vampire bat. It's life-size. It flies around. You can control it, right? The ad, it's $1. Lifelike. Guaranteed to scare. It comes with a free horror outfit. Whatever that means. Yeah, and you got in the mail a rubber bat. That's it. I mean, really. I mean, I knew when I saw it. Rubber masks. This coffin bank, an original one that's extremely valuable. I have one right over there. I'm going to bring that stuff out on the Halloween episode. So a lot of this stuff I own, a lot of it I don't own. But the one thing I wanted as a kid, I would see it, and I'd said, my God. All the combs that are switchblades. Wait, where is this thing? This is one of the coolest things in here. And when I show it to you, even though it's junk, I think you'll agree that it would be fun to own one of these. Oh, here it is. A Polaris nuclear submarine for $6.98. Look at that ad. And that's what you got. You got a cardboard submarine. I would have loved that. I mean, I used to make things like that, but I definitely would have loved having that. Yeah, I have a certain charm of, I have a very warm feeling about a lot of this stuff. Because it was like mysterious and fun, and oh my God, a blackhead remover that looks like something out of a horror film. Vacutex. Look at that guy. He looks like he's ready to get his eye poked out. Terrifying. Oh, here's one. Look at this rocket ship. Look at the ad for that. And that's what you got. Actually, that's cooler. That's really cool. So you have to understand if something cost $8 in a comic book or $9 like the Dracula Dirt, that was a lot of money back then in the late 70s, early 80s. Now these are valuable. Triple flips. And there's the ad for it. Look at that ad. It's like a comic book for the whole ad. I have one of these. It's 3 games, and it's this big, and you hit it, and it flips open. I'm going to show that on a Boardgasm. And then all the spy gear. Spy watches and spy cameras. Check this book out. I think you'll like it. Mail Order Mysteries. Now, if you're looking at the X-ray vision glasses on here, again, don't want to talk too much about it, but on Halloween, the night before, Devil's Night, in my show, I have a little sequence about X-ray specs. I think you're going to be amazed at some of the stuff I tell you about them, because there's some crazy stuff, and that's going to be part of that show. Moving on, I'm going to sip of my fake beer. When we were little, we used to call it near beer. I'm like, near? What's it near? Oh, it's near beer. It's close, maybe? I don't know. All right. So what are you guys reading? Anybody reading anything fun? Any movies? I mean, I'm a movie guy. I like movies. I like monster movies. I don't like the torture-y ones as much as I used to when I was younger. I can't super duper gore unless it's a little fantasy, like the Evil Dead style. If it's too realistic, I'm not so into it anymore. The serial killer stuff, it's okay. I like fantasy, and if it's violence, I need it to be fantasy violence. Mostly. I did like the Hereditaries and those kind of. I do like some of them. I'm just picky. Oh, Dune. Rick Sherman just put Dune. Yeah, a lot of people are excited for the new Dune movie. I know Rick is. I know a lot of you are. I am not. The trailer didn't do it for me. It's okay. I didn't think it was terrible. I just didn't. Rick and I were talking about this the other day. I want to see something new. Something's like, whoa. One of the movies that I thought was very new, some people hated it, I loved it, was the new Suspiria. Different direction, a lot more layers, nothing wasn't intentional. That was, every little bit in that movie was intentional, which I like. That's a good movie. I liked it. But I've been like, I'm so busy with YouTube land and doing gigs and teaching lessons online now, because I do a lot of online lessons, private lessons. I do private magic lessons, if anybody's interested, via Zoom. I'm so busy, I don't even turn my TV on. And I am not kidding. I haven't turned my television on to watch like a TV show 3 weeks, 4 weeks now, 3 weeks. Movies, I've watched a couple, but not many, just a couple. So I'm getting ready to, I'm going to watch a couple, movies. It's Halloween, there's horror films everywhere right now. I am in the mood to watch this. I haven't seen it in, maybe in a year. Folks, he passed away last year. His name is Coffin Joe. His Brazilian name is Zé do Caixão, which means Coffin Joe. And this was his first film. It's called At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul. And if you've never seen it, guys, you gotta go see this. I don't know if, I think it's free on YouTube. So we're on YouTube. Go look at this. It's on YouTube, and it's a good print, I think, too. I'm on Zoom. Well, my Zoom is, so William said, you're on Zoom. I still haven't tried it yet. I'll check it out. So Zoom to me is just a private room, and people book time to do a one-on-one magic lesson. That's all that is. And I do a couple group classes too. But back to Coffin Joe. Coffin Joe made the first Brazilian horror film, and it did well. It was controversial. It kind of pushed the envelope a little bit. But the thing that blows my mind, and it's kind of contemporary in its construction and idea, the bad guy is the main guy in the story, and you're basically watching this unfold from his point of view. And I don't want to spoil it. Just watch it. You're gonna be like, "Wow, this came out in the early '60s. I think it came out in '63 or '64." Uh, it'll blow your mind. And there's a sequence at the end. I'll tell you this: they literally glued glitter on the film to pull it off. So check it out. So then he made a second one. This Night I'll Possess Your Corpse. The colorful titles and the colorful art. These aren't the original posters. They're just the DVD posters. The second one's pretty good too. It picks up where the second one left off. And then, oh God, Brother Nick, we'll get to that in a second. People don't know about that movie. We'll get to it. Great. He made those two horror films in Brazil, became very famous. He basically became like the Stephen King of Brazil. Everybody knows this guy. If you meet anybody from Brazil and you mention Zé do Caixão, they're like, oh my God, everybody knows him. He is like Mr. Macabre. You know, he would be on TV, he would host things. And then in 2005, I don't have my glasses here, he made the third and final installment, The Embodiment of Evil. I have the Blu-ray of this. It's awesome. It's really twisted and weird. It's I don't know. It won't be as good unless you see the other ones. But there's some messed up stuff in this. Really, it's twisted, and it's unique and weird. And I don't know. Just if you like horror, you need to do this. Now, Keith, we're going to talk about some things here that you are bringing up right now. We got Chilly Billy. We're going to talk about him, which is really funny because I was talking about him earlier today. And also, Buckets of Blood, Brother Nick mentioned. Dude, Buckets of Blood is one of the greatest movies ever made. I really recommend it. It's not gross. It sounds like a horror film with lots of blood. Like he said, it's a beatnik horror film. It's about the beatniks. And you really get... Roger Corman produced and directed it. Super low budget. I think they filmed it in a week. Little Shop of Horrors was filmed in 3 days. I think the principal photography. This one was very short. 3 days. Think of that. These guys were masters. Buckets of Blood's very charming and really awesome. If you want to see a cool movie that, like, it's not really gross or horrific. Hold on. Ooh. It's a fun watch. I don't know if it's good for kids though. I think it might be. It's a good movie. It's got murder in it and bloodshed, but it's great. On that note of great movies that people don't know about, what other? Back to Chilly Billy. So Chilly Billy, people watching now, unless you're from Pittsburgh, you might not know exactly who Chilly Billy Cardille is. But if you've seen Night of the Living Dead, you've seen the news reporter scenes. And the news reporter is Chilly Billy. And he plays himself in the movie. He's a news guy. And he really was a news guy in real life. And he hosted Chiller Theater. Or Shock Theater. He was Chiller Theater. It was Shock Theater too. Everybody knew him for that. On channel... Not Channel 9. I can't remember. Channel 4? I can't remember now. Well, Keith is from Pittsburgh, so he remembers him. But the crazy part is his daughter is in Day of the Dead. And the reason why I was talking about him today is her nephew and his uncle, my friend, Chris Pataki, we were talking about him today because it's his family. I'm always like, dude, you got family in Night of the Living Dead and Day of the Dead. I mean, you've got like zombie royalty in your family. It's so cool. Pittsburgh's a cool place for anybody that... KDKA. Wow. Yeah, I used to live near all that stuff. So cool. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. WQED. Right there. I'll tell a really quick Mr. Rogers story. Some of you know this. He's probably one of the most influential human beings in my life. From childhood to now. Still to this day. I had been at school... Carnegie Mellon, It's my sophomore year. I believe it was the first semester. And I lived about a block away from WQED, which was the public access, or not public access. It was like PBS. It's Public Broadcasting TV studio. And I would walk near it to go to school. And I used to go to school in the dark. At Carnegie Mellon, we had class very early, and I used to get there early. So I'm walking to school. It's dark out. There's no one around. There's not even cars out. It's like, 6:30 in the morning. It's pretty late. And he walked right across in front of me. I was walking, and he went, and I was just like, oh my God, that was Mr. Rogers. I didn't say anything. I was just like starstruck, like, wow. Like I knew he was around the neighborhood. There he was. So then fast forward till my senior year of college. I believe it was the fall. I don't think it was the spring. Yeah, because the spring I was already getting ready to leave. So we had a project that we were going to film our theater program in the TV studio. They let us use their gear, and it was just like an experiment. And so we were in there for, I don't know, it seemed like a few weeks. And it was where Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was taping. And back then, he was still taping. So the first day I got to do the taping stuff, I remember I walked in the building, and they had an elevator right in the middle that went down. And downstairs was the studio where they filmed. So I walk in, and as soon as I get in the elevator, there might have been 4 people in there. Mr. Rogers was in there. And he was the one by the buttons. So I walk in, I was like, oh my God, he's in the elevator. And he literally, I'm not lying, he looked at it, he was like, anybody else going down in the trolley? And then he hit the button. I was like, he called the elevator a trolley. We go down, door opens, and in the hallway, not the studio, the hallways, are all the set pieces from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. The castle, the tree, Corny's factory, the platypus mound, Lady Elaine Fairchild's merry-go-round. I mean, they were just everywhere. I literally got choked up. I was just like, oh. It was like hard to believe. I mean, really hard to believe. And so there I was in the middle of Mr. Rogers stuff, filming. I remember eating breakfast in the tree, like where the puppeteers hang out. There was like a little seat, and I remember sitting in there eating, just being like, oh my God, the tree. And Mr. Rogers was walking around. He was hanging out all day. And every now and then he would talk to everybody. And a couple times he would be like, everybody, just want to say it's so wonderful having you people here. Makes me very happy. He would just talk to us. And his secretaries found out I was a fan, and they made me go up and hang out with him in his office. And you ready for this? He signed a photo for me, and I don't have it. I lost it in my move. I do have a Mr. McFeely and a Joe Negri. I don't have a Fred. Kind of breaks my heart, but you know what? I got to hang out with him a bit, and I got to see him in his scene, and he told me about it. He had one sweater on the wall in his office, I believe was the first one his mother made him. His mother made him every single one of those sweaters. Every single one. He was the real deal. He really was. And when that movie came out with Tom Hanks, I didn't see it at the movies or anything. It came out, and I finally saw it like a week or two ago. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's not really about him. It's about what he did to people, how he affected people, children and adults. And it's a movie that choked me up in such a good way. And so I recommend it. If you haven't seen the Tom Hanks movie called Won't You Be My Neighbor, check it out. I mean, Mr. Rogers was the real deal. He was that guy. He really did believe the things he said, and his way of teaching children, no one comes close. No one comes close. I'm very lucky that I got to grow up with his TV show. He didn't teach facts and numbers. No, he taught about how to love and how to deal with anger and how to channel your anger into art. I mean, that was Mr. Rogers, He'd be like, instead of getting mad, go play with clay. Go make something. Pound on the piano. Get it out artistically. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Thank you, Rick. Keith says his dad knew him, and yeah, he was the real deal. Nobody like him. Yeah, I have a big poster of him right here. As a reminder, you make each day a special day by just your being you. So, he basically, it's kind of Ayn Rand, actually. The biggest minority is the individual. Everybody's unique, Never compared Ayn Rand to Mr. Rogers, but yeah, it's true. Cool. So from Mr. Rogers, we transition into Phantasm. Do we have any fans, spelled with a PH? I wanted to talk about Phantasm because a lot of people don't know this. There's a fifth Phantasm. There's a number 5 called Ravager. And I'll just go over them all really quick because most people only have seen the first one. I did not see the first one in the movie theaters. It came out in the late 70s. Low budget movie, did very well. Very freaky and scary. Ooh. Sherman goes, boy, on the chat. True. Yeah, that's a great line. So the tall man is the main guy, the main bad guy, and he's the guy that's in all of the stuff. And this is the DVD. Is it Blu-ray or DVD do I have? Are these Blu-ray? I don't even know. Oh yeah, these are Blu-ray. I bought this box set about 4 years ago, and I'm glad I did because I do watch these a lot. They grow on you too. Phantasm 1, brilliant low-budget movie. Phantasm 2, major release. I saw that at the movie theaters. That's the biggest budgeted one. I forget which studio produced it. It was very hard to get on DVD for a while because of the studio. I like Phantasm 2. The only thing bad is they recast one of the main people. And it's kind of lame because they should have kept him. And he was kind of mad. But then Phantasm 3 came out and they brought him back. So it does keep the same cast, same director. 3, I did not see at the movie theaters because I think it was a direct-to-video, and I like it. It's great. 4, I saw it and didn't like it, and then saw it again and liked it. Weird. And then 5, if you haven't seen any of them, you will hate 5. But if you've seen them all, you're gonna be loving it because it's off the charts. They bring back some old-time performers. I mean, I don't want to spoil it. But if you're wondering what Phantasm's about, I don't even know how to describe it. Most people know that there's a tall guy in a black suit, and he drives a hearse, and he is always holding a silver ball. Let's open this up. And if you watch the trailers, the ball flies around. But here's a poster that comes in the... There he is. That's the tall man. And here is the remastered post for the remastered version of the original. This came in the box set. I'm going to actually frame this. I'm going to order a poster frame for this. This is cool. The movie's really surreal. It's kind of dimensional. It's kind of gothic in its trappings with, spooky mausoleum and stuff like that. But then the gore and violence comes into play, and it's kind of like outrageous and kind of funny, and then sometimes not. But the reason why I think it's successful is the likability of the actors. Reggie Bannister, the guy Reggie in the movie, he's a really great actor. I mean, just warm. You can feel he's just a nice guy. You can feel it in the movie, and he plays the guitar in the movie. He's basically playing himself, and he's likable. And so are all the other characters. And so is the bad guy. And then you throw some dwarves in there, and it's... If you haven't seen it, check it out. Neon Lords in the house. The giant fly scene. Classic. That's in the first one. The third one has a very... Well, I don't want to spoil it. There's a couple scenes in the third one that are like, whoa. The gore is great. It's like kind of like Evil Dead style over the top. But, these silver balls fly around and kill you. It's kind of scary. And then you learn through the series, there's 5 movies, of what is actually going on and who's involved. And so it has its own vernacular. It has its own visual symbolic vernacular. I'll say that. And I like movie series that do that. I mean, even Friday the 13th has its own vernacular of sorts. There's certain things that you just gotta have. I should do a Friday the 13th retrospective too. I've seen every single one of them multiple times. And I've read pretty much every book on them. The remake, bad. No point. But I have some that I really like in that series, and I have some that I don't like so much. But I'm a fan of the Friday the 13th, definitely. Cheers with the Beck's non-alcoholic, folks. If you drink and you want to have beer and you don't want to get drunk, try the Beck's. You'll be like, wow, that's not an O'Doul's. I can't even believe they make O'Doul's. When bars carry O'Doul's, I'm like, really? Just get the good one, man. Oh, that's good. All right. We've been on for an hour. I don't want to go too long. I try to keep these ones tight. As for books, as for reading, I was talking to my buddy Rick. I have a really good friend in here, Rick, who we chat a lot about books and movies. And he's a magician occultist, like me. We have a lot in common. He's always trying to get me to read books because he's an avid reader. He reads, like, a lot. And I go through spurts where I'll read a lot, and then I won't be reading a lot because I can't stop. Like, to sit down and read is like, oh, my God. But I do read a lot of game rules. I read game rules all the time. I love it. It's like a puzzle I got to solve quick because I want to try the game and I want to, do a review. But I do like some fiction. I like fantasy. And during the lockdown, I really wanted to read the Robert E. Howard Conans. I never really read them. I thought I did when I was a kid, but I didn't. Look at this. I think this book was $20 on Amazon. Look at how thick this is. I'm loving it. It's like his writing style is, to me, kind of outrageous. I read one review of Robert E. Howard's writing style, and they were like, he's a terrible writer who writes wonderful stories, I think is how it was worded. And I was like, wow, like, some of the way he phrases things and describes them, it's kind of bad. But, I don't know, there's like, the way the story unfolds is exciting. So, I like him. I do. I think he's interesting. He's kind of like the punk rock version of a novel. It's like missing some things in it. It's a little rough on the edge, but it still works. And then I started reading the 80s Conans. This Leonard Carpenter dude, he took it over in the 80s. Dude, these are great. They're like really, these are kind of, I won't say well written, but they're pretty tight. They move really smooth. And they're not, this is a novel. This is like a full story. I've been reading that. I've been reading lots of Hellboy. I've always been a fan, but I go through phases where I'll read a lot. What else have I been reading? The other thing I've been doing a lot of. Yeah, Howard did invent the sword and sorcery genre, basically. I mean, you have the Tolkien stuff, but the Conan stuff, yeah, I don't know. It's got the edge. It's got this edge to it, yeah. I've been doing a lot of research on philosophy. A lot of Greek stuff. I've always read philosophy books and books on theology and all of that stuff. But, like, actually getting in the nitty-gritty of all the philosophies and pulling them apart, I've been doing it for a while now. I would say for the last year, I got really, like, more detailed with it. And I think Steve Martin said it, like, he went to college for philosophy, and he's like, I learned just enough to mess me up, right? I'm really liking it. it's doing something to me. It's opening my head up to some new ideas. But I've been reading a lot on the Stoicism stuff, a lot on the Epicurean stuff, because Epicureanism, most people don't even know what it is. If you go into the details of it, you're going to be surprised. So I recommend it. Go look up Epicureanism, and a lot of Greek stuff. Nietzsche, a lot of that. What else was I looking into recently? Oh, here's one most people don't look into anymore. Confucius. Look up Confucius. What he taught. Pretty amazing. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty simple, but like, wow, like people don't talk about it anymore in detail. You know, like his whole theory was like the family has to be really important and good and tight because it represents the outer circle, which is your neighborhood. You know, so if you have a strong family relationship where you're learning how to deal with each other in a small space, or how to put up with this, or how to compromise, or how to share, like you're training for your work environment and your other environments, and like it's like the circle grows. And I never knew that about Confucius, that was one of his main things. Um, Amazing guy. I mean, really, and he's a historical guy. He really did live. I was in a Confucius temple in Taiwan in 1993. And I remember it being very simple. I remember there was just a few words written around, and you walked in. And I thought it was cool that they had a temple for him. Like, it's like a place to meditate. It's kind of cool. The thing in Taiwan that I loved was, well, when I went to Taiwan, I was kind of interested in learning more about Taoism because, you know, a lot of people read the Tao Te Pu and the Tale of Piglet. And I did read Lao Tzu and Zhuangzi. I read all of those philosopher guys. And again, I like that stuff. It never became my philosophy of philosophies, but elements of it clearly are important. The cup principle for me, you know, why is a cup useful? Because it's empty. Why is the table useful? Because there's nothing on it. You can put something on it. Once the table's full, you can't put anything on it, right? So I get to Taiwan, and I hear that they have Taoist temples. I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm going to go look at one. I thought the Taoist temple was going to have nothing in it, like an empty room, and you just sit, right? I was wrong. It was the exact opposite. Very elaborate. The one that I really liked had scenes of hell, and I have pictures of this stuff that I took. I'll eventually show you. 2 statue type things of generals. Very scary and demonic. One of them had a tongue hanging out, and one doesn't. And the story is the Taoist temple is there to honor the general because, listen to this. The story is 2 generals were supposed to meet by a river. One died because the river flooded. The other general showed up, found him drowned, and said, I still have to meet him in the afterlife. So he hung himself, which is why his tongue is out. So they made a temple for him. This was a Taoist temple, and they also do like a little bit of, what do you call it? Channeling. People get possessed and they record. It's very not Taoist what I thought. I was like, whoa, this is definitely not what I thought. But I'll show you the pictures one day. Taiwan's a great country to visit. Really nice. The people there are really fun to hang out with, and there's a lot of culture there. You know, they had Chinese culture and Japanese culture and Portuguese culture, and they have their own culture, their Taiwanese stuff, and just a really neat mix of food and I don't know. I dig it. And the people that I met there really were like some of the friendliest people I've ever met, and I always say that. What else? Any questions, folks? God, we're talking about, oh yeah, Coscarelli. Don Coscarelli. That's the director, yeah. Phantasm. He also did Bubba Hotep, which a lot of people liked. I didn't hate it, but I didn't want to see it again. And I did hear they were going to do a sequel at one point, but it didn't happen. I just thought... So that movie was like Sleepy Hollow for me, where pretty early on you know what's going on. I wish it was more of like a build-up to you don't know, and then the end is actually a big surprise. I can't stand movies that don't have a big surprise. I can't. There's so many movies that you're just like, you can see the end coming. It's like, okay, I like it when there's moments of surprise, you know? Um, RPG books. There you go. Neon Lords asks about RPG books. Good question. I mean, I normally go into this on my Boardgasm, but dude, I'll talk about it here. I can talk about games all day. Um, right now, I am learning some DCC modules, also known as Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's the game that's taken over a lot of my RPG role playing, dungeon mastering. Um, but I'm not closed off to all RPGs. Um, but that's the one, and I'm always reading modules. I have stacks of modules. Yeah. And I'll have a lot up here, but I'm always learning new ones so that I can plug them in where they need be. I really try to make my RPG experience a big open sandbox of things. And it's really free. People can really kind of do whatever they want, and I want that feeling of it's really free. You're not on a train track and you got to, stay on the track. So that's how I game. That's how I dungeon master. But I do read Mutant Crawl Classics. I look at I just got the Dave Brocky, the guy from Guar wrote a module for Princess of the I can never remember the name because I don't play the game, but I have some of the modules. Princess of the Eternal Light. It's a weird name. Neon Lords, who's in the chat now, he has a new game coming out. I don't know if you can post a link in here, but go ahead. Neon Lords, post a link. He's a new Kickstarter game coming out. It's like a post-apocalyptic, slightly futuristic, insane asylum game, and it looks fun. Very rock and roll, very toxic waste punk rock. Let's say that. That's the vibe I'm getting. Lamentations of the Flame Princess. That's the other game. Yeah, I read the modules for that. I like them. I don't use the rules, but I like the fluff stuff. Yeah, Neon Lord's game, it's coming out, I think, next month. He's kickstarting it. Check it out. He posted a link. Cool, bro. Yeah, I'll jump in on that Kickstarter. I love reading game rules. I was telling my son the other day, I was like, I think it's because I like learning something and then being able to do something with it, right? So if I just read a fantasy book like Conan, well, not Conan, because I use that when I game. I use some of the ideas. But I like to be able to relay it and do something with it. So when I'm reading game rules, it's like a practical thing. November 1st, yeah, Neon Lords. I'm excited. I have a Kickstarter coming out. Oh, here we go. Diano or Dickinson? Dio Sabbath. Oh, wow. All right, now we're getting into rock and roll. God, this is going to go on. All right, here we go. Diano or Paul Diano or Dickinson? I'm a Dickinson. I like Bruce. I don't mind the Old Maiden stuff. It's got an edge to it. It's definitely got more of a punk rock edge. But, dude, Bruce is a showman. Bruce had the pipes and the show. He's the guy that made the Stadium Show. I mean, dude, you've seen him live. He runs around like a freak. Yeah, I've seen Iron Maiden many times. Maybe 9, 10 times. Somewhere in there. Sabbath, Dio Sabbath. Are you ready for this? I prefer the Dio Sabbath. Now, I don't hate Ozzy. Let me just say it straight up. Ozzy pretty much invented heavy metal. I love him. But I listen to the Dio Sabbath stuff a lot. Dio has one of the greatest metal voices of all time. Bluesy, rich. He's just a great heavy metal vocalist with a good energy on stage. I've seen him 4 times, and I got to see the tour they did, the Heaven and Hell tour with Sabbath. Wow. I mean, great stuff. So I do like the Dio Sabbath stuff a lot. Dude, Neon Nights is one of the most rockin' tunes ever. The drums, the bass, the guitar, it's like a punk rock tune. It's just like, and Dio, oh, love it. One of my favorite metal vocalists, Blackie Lawless. That guy. Kickstarter. Well, okay, so here's this is my Kickstarter coming up. You're not going to know what it is just yet. I'll give you some clues. I've been working on this for a year. Slightly tight-lipped about it. A few people know. Some of the people in here know. Don't open your mouths. There's a couple people in here that know. But on Halloween night, I'm gonna unveil the website, not the Kickstarter, of what it is. There'll be like a web page you can go look and see. And then on Black Friday, it goes up on Kickstarter. I don't know what other clue I can allude. I'll tell you this. It's a pack of playing cards. It's a pack of playing cards. But wait till you see them. Wait till you see the quality. Wait till you see what they look like. Wait till you see the theme. You're going to dig it. And I teamed up with a good friend of mine who's one of the greatest artists I've ever met, Stuart Palm, if you're watching. He really is one of the greatest artists I've ever met. His visions are great. He pulls them off. And he comes up with new concepts that are, it's art, it's new, it's his stuff, you know. He knows about design, and we have a lot of the same tastes and things. So I'm the curator of the deck, and I'm helping him shape it to this vision I had, and he's adding to the vision too, and we're together working on this, and it's going to come out Black Friday. You'll be able to click the button and Kickstarter it. We are pretty confident it's going to do well. We're going to ask for help, you know, people to share it and pass it around, but I think people are going to love it. I can't wait to see them. And I'll show you right now the card quality. He already did one Kickstarter. These are the Gnostic cards that he did. Dude, you can't see the quality in the camera, but they're exquisite playing cards. They're smooth grained. They have a smooth finish, not linen. They're smooth, and they're a little thicker than a bicycle, which I normally don't like, but they take a little longer to break in. They're not going to be the cards if you're a magician, that you're going to use every day. Oh, no. They're special. They're nice. But they're the same kind of quality as these, and they're made by a company that makes casino cards for Macau. So they're casino grade. And the box is going to be, just wait. You're going to freak out. And some of the add-ons we're going to stick in there, I think people are going to like too. So, yeah, thanks everybody. If you're going to help me, that's great. Anybody does the Kickstarter, it's going to be awesome. What else? Any questions? Listen, if you're watching, go click that subscription button. It helps me so much. And it also helps if you hit notifications. It does something else to the algorithm. Donations, whatever. If you donate, great. It goes back in the show. If not, just share my stuff. Some of you guys are sharing my stuff and posting it, and that's pure gold. That's all I'm asking for. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by December, or in December, hopefully. I think I might be able to do it before. We'll see. But I'm getting there. I'm going up in numbers daily now. It's 10, 20, 20, 30. It's like, you know, somehow it triggered it already. And once I hit 1,000, it starts to change a bit. I can monetize on YouTube, and it gives me access to some new features that I can use. One of the features I had, like this, oh God, here we go. Like, here you go. We got the donation thing. Look at that. Hi. And there's my hand cam. And what was I going to show you? Oh, yeah, I was going to put these cards out. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. Look at that. This has got, like, the foil box. And there's my live cam. Hold on. Let me get the live cam back up. No, not working. And now it'll work. Watch. Bang. It's got this thing where I click on it, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I click on it. They switch places. I click on it, and it works. I think it's a bug, like a glitch. Let me know how it sounded. I adjusted my mics a bit. People said it was a little too quiet last time. I just don't want it to pop when it gets to the top, you know? So I think it worked. Thank you, William. Yeah, you're helping me a lot. Well, some of my people in here are helping me. William's been spreading the word. Thank you. It means a lot. Sherman has been giving me some creative input too. Thank you, man. And anybody that watches this when it's not live, thank you. Click that subscription button. and you can message me with some ideas. I'm open for that. Ah, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I did do adjusting of the sound. I'm listening to my people out there. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. I like learning. I do, and if I'm bad at something, I admit it right away. Like I am not good at that. I'm good at this, but not that. I'm all good for help. Folks, this has been a lot of fun. I'm thirsty and hungry, and put some Tommy accused tonight, sir. Thank you, man. Yeah, I got some Toilet Boy news too. I'll give that in one of these ones too. Toilet Boys aren't, we're still around. We just don't play much. Thank you, everybody. This was really fun. I like Sunday nights. It's kind of a mellow night. Saturday or Friday night was crazy. There was like 40 some people in there live at one point. It was like pretty fun. Tonight we had a nice crowd. Yeah, cool. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram, Cardone Magic. I post a ton of content there. I also advertise my live shows, my magic shows. So check it out, folks. We got Boardgasm coming up. We've got Evening Hours coming up. And on the night before Halloween, the Devil's Night, we got my Transylvanian adventure Behind the Devil's Curtain. So, folks, I'm going to hit some of these trailers for my other shows. And, folks, I hope you had a good time tonight. Thank you so much. And anybody out there, yeah, love you too, brother. Anybody else, if you have ideas or questions for me, fire them off to me. I put my email now in the about stuff, too. All right, everybody. News and credits. Let's see. Hi.